Hi, I'm Dave Young. I'm the Head of Technical Production here at the ICC Belfast, Waterfront Hall and Allstall. I oversee the entire technical department, a team of production managers and in-house technicians and all the technical equipment that we have here. The challenges in supporting a hybrid event is we wanted to join up the audiences here in person and remote. We needed to find new equipment, new tools and new platforms to make sure that the users here and the delegates here in person have a wonderful experience as well as interacting with the remote delegates. We looked across the entire market of streaming equipment, cameras and encoders, and we saw BirdDog and thought this was fantastic equipment. The quality of the picture from the cameras is great, and we're using NDI technology across the venue with BirdDog supporting NDI in and out. It works perfectly for our needs. Our favourite feature of the cameras has got to be the BirdDog P400's Sony chip. The camera quality is incredible. We've got a few studio cameras in the venue, and even the small PTZ cameras look amazing in comparison to them. So across the venue we use lots of different equipment, so as well as the BirdDog streaming equipment we use their encoders and decoders, so the studio minis or anything like that. That all goes into vMix. That's then mixed then by one of our technicians and vMix operators, which is streamed then live onto our platform, which is Glitter. So we've installed BirdDog cameras across the entire venue, so every single meeting room has got a BirdDog P400 in there. Some of our halls have got more than one in there as well, and we wanted a way to connect all of these seamlessly, and we decided to go down the NDI route. That means as well that we can share presentation content, videos and stream to any session across the building, just across the network. As a backup, we have put SDI in there because it's always great to have a backup. If you can plug something in, we always recommend to plug something in, and that's great with the BirdDog equipment. It allows for NDI and SDI as simultaneous streams. We would recommend BirdDog equipment because it just works. It works perfectly straight out the box, plug it in, it's plug and play, and away you go. It's not replacing a camera operator. There are still needs for our kind of studio cameras where somebody's moving around the stage, but the PTZ cameras give us that great opportunity to create preset locations on cameras. We can switch from preset location 1, then go to another camera to preset location 2, and it looks like 2 cameras becomes a studio of 10 different cameras, and that's the joy of PTZ.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? BirdDog John back for another hour of fun and laughs and all that good stuff. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for coming along for the ride. This show, the point of the show is to provide an opportunity for people to ask questions about NDI and about BirdDog and all sorts of stuff. I am one of the support guys. I'm the head of support for BirdDog, and so we have been trying to figure out the best ways to support the product line. And over the past several years now, I've been running this support show just to try and be available to people in kind of a real-time situation. And so here we are. We're on. I'm using StreamYard now, but you can message me. You can throw stuff in the comments and I can add that to the stream. What's going on, Brentley? Good morning to you. So I can add that directly here. We can answer those questions in real time. So if you're over on LinkedIn, which only few of you are, join us over at birddogjohn.tv. There just below here. Over here. My name right there. Type that in. It takes you to the YouTube page, and you can definitely join us there in the chat, or you can join us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/BirdDogJohn, I believe. So there's no one here but us chickens. What's going on, NetHab? Good to have you back. Thanks for jumping on. So a bunch of people over on Twitch. We were on Twitch originally for quite a while, and now, hang on one second. Yeah, we were on Twitch for quite some time. This audio's kind of peaking a little bit, so I'm just going to back that down just a shade, see how that helps. There you go, twitch.tv/BirdDogJohn. So that's the original channel. And then randomly one time we got banned because of a bad link that Nightbot put up. And so we migrated over to YouTube and haven't had any problems at YouTube. So we're still there, but we're also still on Twitch and we're on LinkedIn. So those are the 3 places you can find us now. On LinkedIn, it's my own LinkedIn profile, so you'll have to go and find me. Not too hard to find me, but if you want to watch it on LinkedIn for some reason, keep business where business is done, I guess. And the other little piece that I should throw up here is Brayton has gone through our grab bag and has thrown in here some random stuff that we're going to try today. I have no idea what this is. We're going to have to use the power of Google Translate to try those things out. So that'll be interesting. Friday, I was out because I took my kids, my wife too, to the Toledo Zoo. So if you've ever been to Toledo, they have quite a nice zoo area there, and that was a fun little excursion. The kids really enjoyed that, but they have it's a Toledo Zoo and aquarium. And so I don't really know what the aquarium portion of it is, but if you're in the Toledo area, I can't suggest this enough. Definitely check out the Toledo Zoo. It's a good place, a little bit pricey for admission, but they have a lot of varieties of animals and they do a lot of good conservation work. So be good to check that out and see what they're up to. A lot of their animals are rescues. They're not bred in captivity or whatever, but they're rescues. Especially this guy, actually, right there. He's like one of their flagship creatures. I think he's a tortoise, and he got hit by a boat or something like that, so he can't swim normally. So they have him at the aquarium, and the aquarium is pretty good. It's a whole indoor area, but yeah, it's a good time. So about how much? I assume that means how much. Yeah, the P is next to the O. It was $26 for an adult, and then it was $23 for kids, and you can buy them online. Seniors are also 23, and children are 2 are free. However, both my kids are over 2 years old. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, I actually do not mind. This is non-Lucas County admissions as well, by the way. So if you're coming from Detroit or whatever, that's what that is. But yeah, it's a little bit more than the Detroit Zoo, but I think the Toledo Zoo has more to offer in terms of their actual place. So it's a good day trip. It's a nice little time away, and the kids really liked it. We had a little wagon that we pulled, and they jumped in and out of that thing all day, and that was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend the Toledo Zoo and Aquarium. It was good times. We'll let their website load again. This is like a cool little bridge that you cross over, and there's a whole side of the park that's on the other side of the highway. So, yeah, there's a local aquarium that's here too. It's at Great Lakes Crossing, which is a big outlet mall. It's actually quite well known, but it's like it's an outlet mall essentially, kind of. And in there, there's like an aquarium thing that you can go and visit, and it's the same price. It's $26 for an adult, which I think is crazy. I realize that like they've got to lease a space and run an aquarium and pumps and all this water, and it's for conservation, whatever. But for your money, you see a whole lot more if you go to Toledo for the day. So that's cool stuff. Oh, I was thinking Disney prices. Yeah, no, not it's not that pricey for sure. So it's not terrible at all. And again, like all these things are, well worth heading over there. You know what I didn't see? It's really hard to see the snow leopards, but they have 3 of them, which is unbelievable. Anyways, so good times. Yeah. Feel free to check out the Toledo Zoo. That's where I was on Friday. So if you had sent me a message on the help desk on Friday and I didn't get back to you, that is where I was. I'd taken my kids and my entire family over to the Toledo Zoo, which I recommend doing. It's $10 for parking as well. So add that in there as a part of your expected expenses. Okay, so and then of course Monday was July 4th, so Independence Day here in the U.S. And that day we were closed; the offices were closed. So we are back at it here today. One of my guys is out sick today; the other 2 are here, and we're working through help desk and working through a bunch of stuff. So there's lots to do at the support desk, and we want to be sure to take an hour though today and spend some time here online. Make sure that there are no burning fires happening, or look, some people just don't like submitting tickets. I totally get that. They don't like email or whatever. So we want to offer a couple of hours every week that you can interact with me live. And if I know the answer, I'll tell you the answer. If I don't know the answer, I will also tell you I don't know, and I will do my best to find out. So there's that. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. Now, last week we officially launched NDI 5 for the cameras. And so if you are to go to the download screen of our website, you would see the LTS download, which is here under just the regular camera download. And then you'll see the NDI 5. It's labeled beta. It's a public beta. Once it gets to this screen, it's no longer in its testing phases. It's deemed suitable for public launch, where we've got enough feedback from folks where we think that it's stable enough where the pros outweigh the cons. And so here is the possibility of moving to NDI 5 if you want to. We took this integration a little bit slower, primarily because we wanted to get it right, wanted to be sure that we got everything kind of as best we could for the initial launch. And so NDI 5 has been out since March, April, somewhere in there. And wait, that's not right. NDI 5 is, when did NDI 5 come out? It's been out for a while. Anyway, NDI.TV. When did NDI 5 come out? New tool set for NDI 5. There's not really a launch date that they have listed here. Okay, well, I'll figure that out. But anyways, it's been out. NDI 5 came out last summer. Thank you. NDI 5 came out last July. Okay, so it's been a whole. Okay, I can't take this right now. Yeah, it's been basically a whole year that NDI 5 has come out, and BirdDog has now just launched NDI 5 for their cameras. So it's pretty exciting. Part of it has to do with this guy right here, because this was not going to have an LTS launch, an NDI 4 version. And so, that's weird. Why can't I unselect that? There we go. So the P110 and 120 camera series was just going to be NDI 5. And so that's what's going on there. Is that camera is shipping currently at stores and available. And so you can buy it off of the B&H website right now. They are in the wild. I know of several customers that have them. Lots of people are really excited about that. So, yeah, they are out there, and there's a 10 times model and a 20 times model. So that's what the 110 and 120 means. So there's the NDI 5 update for that, though. Update, which is really the one that should be shipping with. But anyways, there you go. All the other previous cameras were all running NDI 4, and so there's an LTS version for those, and then there'll be an NDI 5 version that goes along with those, with the exception of keyboard. It doesn't have an NDI 5 yet. So just a heads up while you're registering and updating all of your devices. That's the latest and greatest. Now, the next piece for that puzzle is the converter series. And so this is the next series that they have been working on. It's a whole different, completely different ball of wax. All right. So it's still NDI 5, but is definitely not the same as, like, I wrote it for the P200. And so now I can push it out for the 4K HDMI. It's not how it works. A totally different product. It's going to need to be totally built from the ground up again. And so they have been working feverishly on this, on the converter line, to try and get them to NDI 5. I don't have a beta yet, so I can't even offer you that. But I do encourage you to stay tuned, because I do know that this is something they've been working on a lot, and I suspect that these will be in beta very soon. I hesitate to ever give dates, because I'm not the guy writing the code, right? So that's not necessarily fair to put someone else on the spot when it's not me doing the coding. So yeah, NDI 5 is coming for the converter line. It's currently being worked on. I can promise you that, because it is being requested a whole lot. So now the question is, before or after Silicon 2? I suspect before, and probably as close together as possible, but I suspect before, because you're going to need the NDI 5 stuff before the Silicon 2 stuff is going to work. So more than likely, Silicon 2 will come after the NDI 5 updates for this product line, and for the cameras, for that matter. Good question. All right, so there's that. That's kind of what's been going on there. Let me go here now. So let me give you an update as to what's happening kind of behind the scenes on the Bird Dog calendar. At least I can speak to the support team. So there is a fair bit of coming and going. This is summer vacation here in Michigan, whereas it's winter over in Melbourne, which is blows my mind. But anyways, their winter is like 50s and 60s apparently. So that's not really winter, but it's cold for Australia. It's like maybe long sleeve shirt for me if it's in the 50s. I'm from Toronto, so I'm used to several feet of snow. So yeah, we are in the midsummer here, and summer is officially underway. So there are guys that are taking vacation time or whatever, and I am no exception to that. So there'll be some guys coming and going. In the summer, things generally slow down. There are some folks over in Australia that will take time off during this time of year because it's summer in other places in the world, and many of them actually live or come from other countries that are currently experiencing summer. So they're going on vacation as well. So engineers, support staff, we're kind of coming and going. So expect a little slower on the release times during this time of year, especially with summer. Starts around NAB and it ends somewhere in September when people are coming and going out of the office. And so there'll be a few weeks here. The next month, basically, will be a change up. Now, if I'm going to be out of the office, I'm going to do what I can to see if someone else wants to host this show. So we will see what the status of our guys is here in the office. Ooh, I should also mention Thursday's show I will be doing from home because I need to stay home, work from home, so I could be in the house with my son, who's 4. So my daughter will be off to like a day camp, and my wife is working, and I will need to be at home with him. So I will do this show, but I'll do it from home. We'll see how that goes. I have a different mic setup, different camera. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. It should be fun. Hey, do you know if there's an update coming for keyboard as well? Yes. So everything is getting an NDI 5 update, and so keyboard is on the list of things to be updated. The LTS version of keyboard is tested with the NDI 5 version of the cameras, and so that should all be working. But there will likely be an NDI 5 update for keyboard as well. And so stay tuned for that. When I have some sort of public knowledge that I can share with you, I definitely will here on this show. That's part of the reason why we do this. So as soon as I know something, you will probably know something. As soon as I know something I'm allowed to share, I do know other things that I'm not allowed to share. So I got to be careful there. As soon as it becomes kind of that it's being worked on, like the converter information, that is the active project. I'm allowed to share that. That's all good. And they're working really hard to get that working right. So, I'm just gonna pull up something here. This is strange that I can't see that. Okay, yoink, back to this camera. Sorry, I'm just running confidences here. I'm watching the show here. I've got a confidence monitor coming out of the camera, and then I'm watching studio monitor over here. So, yeah, there's lots going on. So anyways, feel free, of course, to submit your tickets and your questions if we are not online to help@birddog.tv. Of course, we can, that'll open a ticket for you. It'll log your email address, and we'll be sure to communicate through that with you. If you go to our website and you submit a ticket through the web form, all good. But be sure that you double check your email address, because we get several of those where the email address bounces after they submit it, and it's because they've mistyped the email address. So I'm going to work on a way. I'm the guy that made that web form, so I'm going to work on a way to do a confirmation email address box in there, and then that should clear that up. So yeah, be sure that you reach out to us at help@birddog.tv. and we can generate a ticket for you, and be sure that that doesn't get lost in the weeds. So that is the official way to get some help from Bird Dog support. Now, there is a whole Bird Dog user group as well. So users helping users, that's on Facebook. You can find them at, I think it's just Bird Dog user group, but if you just go to the search box and put in Bird Dog user group, it should come up. That would be also a great place if you want to crowdsource your answers or questions. totally fine. But officially, if you want something from BirdDog support, then reach out to us at the email address listed below. And we'd be happy to give you a hand there, no problems. Try and keep it to like one question or one product line per email, just so we can be sure that we manage those products correctly, but also manage expectations right. We have guys that like, here are my 10 questions I have about my setup, and 6 of them are about vMix, and 1 of them is about Netgear, and 3 of them are about a camera. It's like, okay, well, we can answer the 3, but also then these other items we probably need to either get other people involved or split them off into other tickets. So try and keep it relatively concise when it comes to submitting tickets, and that's really helpful for us on the back end. And also, then we can answer the questions we can answer right away and get those questions closed for you, and then keep the ones open that are relevant to keep open, instead of keeping a perpetual ticket that had 10 questions in it. That gets a little messy, so, and long in the tooth, that's for sure. Some tickets we have like plus 40, plus 50 interactions back and forth because people keep, asking additional things, and that's fine, I guess. It just means that that ticket never gets closed. So yeah, that's kind of sometimes kind of awkward. But question on the number of max presets on the 200. Working on a custom app and finding conflicting information. 9, 16, or 127. So I think the official word that I've heard is 100. 9 is within Studio Monitor. 16 is within the companion app. Okay. And then 127, that might be right, but I believe known tested configurations is 100. So you should be able to go all the way up to 100 and use the API to create and recall 100 presets. You can't recall past 9 presets on Studio Monitor, and you can't recall past 16 presets on Companion. But if you write your own API commands, which you can use with the API docs, then I believe it can go up to 100 without any sort of issue. Now, I need to run some tests on preset 99, because I think that I think it's on the Bolin side. I think it's on the baseboard side, but I think preset 99 calls the OSD menu. But I don't know if that's on all cameras or just certain ones. But somebody submitted a ticket a while back, and Senseless came into my office. He's like, "Hey, do you know anything about this, about preset 99 opening the OSD?" And I was like, "Actually, that sounds familiar." So I haven't tested it. I haven't had time to check it. If you have, all sorts of oodles of time on your hands and you want to double check it, that would be great. How many can the keyboard recall? Again, I believe at least 100. Originally, when we launched the keyboard, it was like 250 or something like that. But I don't think every preset recall was checked, in terms of nobody sat there on the keyboard and did 250 preset recalls. I think we took that information from Boland. It was like, okay, great, we could use 250. But like, really, to say that, you should go through and verify every single one can be saved and then recalled. And that we didn't have quality assurance back then to do that. So I believe 100 have been checked. I don't know about preset 99. That would be the way that we could test we could do the API check to see if that fires the OSD on preset 99. But in the meantime, does NDI support 9 max? API 2 says only 9. Nope, I don't believe it says that, actually. Let me jump in there. I was just looking at the API today, actually. So let's see what you're looking at. Recall preset 99 right now. I dare you. I don't have a keyboard. I definitely would, but I don't have a keyboard. See if it pulls up on my face. Okay, so preset recall post. This command is used to recall presets, range 1 to 99, or 1 to 9 is, I see what you're seeing. But I believe that you can, oh, that's the response. I believe you can change this preset number. I think that's a typo because let me throw this up here. Actually, let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see. So I'm not too sure about this. Let me check with my engineer. See if he's online. See what he says. I'm pretty sure that you can recall more than 9. That would be a very strange limitation to have, but um, let me just hot coffee brought to you by Ember. Leave your coffee for hours without it ever getting cold. Ember mugs. Join the Ember Mug Club here on BirdDog John TV, where the exclusive rights are not exclusive, and I'm not even sponsored by them. I don't know why I'm promoting their product, but okay. So for sure, at least 100. The engineer believes that a 255 might be the new limit. We need to probably double check and test it, but this wordage just needs to be updated from what he tells me. So it's not just 1 to 9; it should be 1 to 255 is his estimation, but also at least 100. So if you're doing more than 100 presets, wowzers, that's impressive to say the least. Especially on multiple cameras. But anyways, that is the deal. Is it should for sure do at least 100. He thinks 255. Again, I don't have the ability to say yes, we've tested that, but the number is definitely greater than 9. So there you go. Great question. And how's it going, Great Outdoors Community Church? Good to see you. Welcome back to the show. So that one more time, if you need to submit a ticket, it's my new banner. It's pretty basic, but it's gets the point across, right? Or better yet, just come to the BirdDog John TV show, whatever we're calling this support show. Come hang out with me, and I'll answer your questions live. You know, good times. Okay, so yeah, the summer schedule is definitely underway. Things, guys are coming and going out of the office. Now, kind of exciting news is we are advertising for a couple of positions in the bird dog support world. One in Australia, one in Europe, and specifically the UK, and then one here in Auburn Hills. So, really excited. Bird dog is growing like crazy, and so that's all good stuff. Hey, you are very welcome. I'd rather work with the API than Visca IP. Yeah, I understand. Or Vista. Is that Windows Vista? Spell check. Thanks a lot, spell check. Really appreciate that. No. Visca. Vista IP. Windows Vista IP. uh, yep. We definitely understand though where you're getting at. I really appreciate you trying to correct it and then and then it auto correcting on you. That's good stuff. Oh, great, man. So yes, we are hiring here in Auburn Hills. I'm trying to find an office manager who can help us out with some logistical things and part of our RMA process and a whole bunch of things. Sadly, I'm unable to relocate to Detroit, nor do I want a 2-hour commute. Yeah, that would be a doozy. You don't have to relocate to Detroit. You'd have to relocate to Auburn Hills. So, unless you want to live in Detroit, one of my guys lives down there, but his commute is a doozy. So, you may want to choose a better neighborhood. But yes, it is a local job opportunity for somebody here in Auburn Hills, so or around in this area. So if anybody knows anybody, let's shoot them my way. The job is advertised on LinkedIn, on the BirdDog, I believe on the BirdDog page, but also on mine. So yeah, good times. Good times. Anyways, that position is open. There's a support agent position open in Australia, and then there's a support agent position open in the UK. So if you know anybody, let me know. We can send you the job description, see if you're interested in something like that. All of those support agent, actually, all 3 positions are entry level positions into the field. So there's always room for upward mobility at BirdDog because we are growing like crazy. So it's a good foot in the door, and yeah, you can join my support team. Good times. Good times. All right. So now we're going to take a moment and pull open Google Translate because we want to find out what on earth these candies are. And I think they're candies. This is today's version of Snacks on Stream. So let's what? What does that say? Elise salt? It's Japanese. Okay. So translating it did not make it any better. All right. And then back to let's close this out. Let's find out what this is. Strawberry Bisco. Strawberry Bisco. It will be delicious and strong, is the wordage there. So that's suspicious. So I'm assuming it's a cookie. It kind of feels like a broken cookie in here, maybe 2. So that's okay. Strawberry flavored. So that's exciting. Strawberry. It clearly says strawberry there. That's what these symbols are. And then this questionable candy, which has, I doubt I'm going to be able to translate this. Kind of looks like M&Ms on the back. Ooh. Okay, so this one says, this is really just a list of things that it is. Expires July 2023. It's a confectionery, so mostly sugar. Please note that there is a risk of this. You can eat it by putting your mouth directly on it. Shake strongly with your hands. What? What does that even mean? You can eat it by putting your mouth directly on it. Shake strongly with your hands. Please note that there is a risk of this. Wait, there's a risk of what? What is there a risk of? It doesn't say. There's a risk involved, but we don't know what the risk is. So great. Okay, well, let's try these random salt things while we wait, what is that? Elise salt is what? Oh, it's a triathlete. Um Oh, sorry. That's all I got. You just don't eat the wrapper. Yeah. Oh, this is like a lemon. I think. hard to tell. Yeah, it's definitely lemon. Okay. Yeah, so there's like a lemon center on this. Here, I'll switch this back. Okay, it's not salt, that's for sure. It's some sort of lemon something or other. So, all right, that's pretty good though. Like a lemon cookie, not too bad. Don't eat the wrapper. No, don't do it. Oh, it's not the salt. No, it's pretty good though. Wonder how many calories that is, but anyway, it's a nice snack. There's a package in there with some lime salt. Oh yeah, we did that. I think it's bath salt, not to be eaten. Great. Okay, so the next is my strawberry cookie. What was the word that they used? Something about it. It will be delicious. Ooh. Yeah. It will be delicious. That is good. Yeah, I need that again. Not bad. Okay. So also on the package there is a tiny baby. So I'm wondering if these are supposed to be for children. Quite possibly. But here we go. Yeah, that's good. Approved. All right, now these, I don't know about this. First of all, what is this in the shape of? Right? Like, I don't understand the packaging. Are you supposed to push them out like pills? Like it kind of looks like they're like aspirin, but I can't figure out. Number 2, it's a number 2. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but then it's Japanese, right? Why would they put it? Why would they make it into the shape of a number 2 if it's Japanese? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, whoa. Okay, so they just pop right out of there. Who knows what we're getting into here? Oh. Okay. So it's chocolate, which is fine. Let's. Whoa. Whoops. That one just shot across the studio. All right, so here's that strange packet. Oh no, it did. It's right here. There we go. So there you go. That's the odd little packet of. Okay. So let's try these. So they're. Have you ever had Canadian Smarties? All right. So Canadian Smarties are a chocolate candy. Yeah. Here. It's a chocolate candy that you yoink. Has a thicker shell than M&Ms. They're like the shell is crunchier, but it has the same chocolate content inside. They these are like miniature Smarties, is what they taste like. I don't hate it. I actually still prefer M&Ms over Smarties because they're easier to eat, but Smarties are good. Are they like sixlets? Yeah, I think I've had those. I think I know what those are. Yeah, I think so. Chocolate aspirin, my favorite. I mean, it's Japanese aspirin, and you ate the whole pack. Oh, fantastic! Great. Well, my dopamine levels are going to be blocked today. They are chocolate. Can confirm. I was thinking they look like that. Yeah. And then Balu with his symbols. Ooh, Canadian Smarties over U.S. Smarties. Well, I mean, I do like me some stinking bulk pack Smarties. Here, let's these things, man, deadly. This is why I have so many cavities. Whoa, $164. Only 2,400 pieces. Look at this bulk candy. This is where it's at. Gotta get me some bulk candy because yikes. 24 assortment. Wait, there's only 24 of these. They want to sell you them for $7? That's a rip, dude. That is a rip. No way. I know me some nerd prices. That's way overpriced. Okay, so I suspect this website is bogus. Probably stealing my identity while we speak. Okay, so I will let's find the correct. Let's find this here. Ooh, these look good. I used to have these when I was in. Oh, hang on. So little known fact about me is I used to compacted sugar pills. Barf. Not a fan, huh? I used to run. This is going to be a weird story. I used to run a little store. Wasn't mine. It was for the school. But okay, back in high school, I went to a private school in the Niagara Peninsula, and I was a I don't know, like we had like an evening store that sold like candy and some food or whatever, but it was like a place where students could come and hang out. And so I was the manager of the store and used to sell candies. Well, I sold so many of these little suckers and ate so many of these that seriously, like probably sold thousands of them. But I can't believe they still make them and that they're still available. And they're really good, but they're basically a large Smartie on top of like a sucker. And they would destroy your tongue halfway through the process. So, but yeah, this is like a walk down memory lane. All the candies we used to sell out of that place. Split this. What else we got here? I need to find like nostalgic candy. You know what I haven't had in a long time? Pop Rocks. Remember those things? Those were good. Hey, don't forget, Nightbot wants you to join our Facebook user group and our Discord channel. Don't forget that if you hate Facebook, there's also an option to hang out with other BirdDog users on Discord, which is actually hosted by a guy named Beep Chirp, who's on here every couple of weeks, and he hangs out with us. So Pez is another barf. Really? Not a Pez fan. Fascinating. I find it hilarious that it takes you longer to load a Pez dispenser than it does to eat the Pez. Like I could destroy those things, but it's so hard to load those. They all these years they haven't come up with a faster way to load Pez dispensers. If you look on YouTube and you look up like how to load a Pez dispenser, it's just people trying to cram Pez into the dispenser, and it's wrong most of the time. But I don't mind. Actually, I am a hard candy fan, so you and I would differ on this. I wouldn't even load them for that exact reason. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I have eaten them straight out of the package before as well. The Pez dispensers are like the toy, right? And then the actual Pez candy. I mean, that's what you're there for. That's what most of us are there for, at least. Not you, not Balu. Okay. Well, good times, great oldies. That's what those. So this number 2 package of Japanese candy, which we don't even know what name it is, but it would have expired in a year, which is a little disturbing. That was good. They were like chocolate Smarties, Canadian Smarties, and that's all the candy I had for today. So, oh wait, is there? Oh, these are just crumbs. Okay, never mind. So, anyways, happy to jump back to your NDI questions. Feel free to reach out to us if you don't hear, or if you're watching this in the future, at help@birddog.tv. Be happy to give you a hand over there. That would generate a ticket for you, and then one of my knowledgeable agents will get in touch with you. There's kind of a lot going on over here. Plus, like I said, so there are like trips that are being planned, vacations that are being planned, a whole bunch of stuff is going on. So feel free to reach out to us. If you send us a ticket, it'll get into our system and someone will be able to look at it. There are multiple people that look at the same list of tickets. If you post on Facebook, someone from BirdDog may or may not see your post. So the more efficient way is to submit a ticket. You could do both if you wanted, submit a ticket and post on Facebook. But the best way for a BirdDog agent or somebody from BirdDog to see your question would be to submit a ticket at help@birddog.tv. So there's my pitch. There you go. That's the deal. Somebody had asked us earlier about the email address for the Netgear support team that helps folks get their Netgear 4250 switches set up. And so I wanted to have this on here just so that it's available. proavdesign@netgear.com. All right. If you shoot them an email, they've got a team of people that are watching that email. And so if you have questions about your Netgear 4250, about setting it up for NDI, whether you're using NDI 4 or 5, their team has access to the guy who programmed the switch to do it. So be sure that you reach out to them if you have any questions there. You can certainly reach out to us, but if it kind of gets outside of our realm, then we're going to involve the guys over at Pro AV Design as well. So great resources to have. Super, super great guys over there. I contacted them one time when we were getting ready for NAB, and they got back to me and helped me make sure that things were set up. I kind of explained my network design, my concept to them, and they approved that basically for NDI use. And by the way, that network worked fabulously and flawlessly. It didn't give me any problems. There's always like setup and whatever that you have to work through things. There's a couple of late nights that I was just getting things configured. I had to move some switches around. We had a few lines that got damaged in install, and so we had to make some amendments to the installation design. But at the end of the day, when it was time to show stuff, everything worked, and I was pretty excited about that. It was a great little design. One of these days, I'll talk about how we actually had it. I need like a whiteboard option. Is there a whiteboard option in Windows? Apparently not. Well, anyway, we will. Yeah, I'm happy to go over actually that design one of these days. It's 13 minutes to 12, so we won't do that today. But perhaps next week we will talk about my next week, or we could do this on Thursday. But anyways, we'll talk about that design concept and talk about how I envisioned it going and how Netgear said I should do it. Actually, I was really relieved because I ended up talking to the main designer for the NDI Netgear profile, and I explained this is what I'm thinking. Went through like a half an hour conversation with him, and then I said, "Okay, what do you think?" And he said, "That's exactly how I would do this, because it keeps all the data flowing in one direction, but all of the devices only ever have to talk across two switches." So, yeah, I'll share that in an upcoming show. Maybe I'll put that on a to-do list here. That would be a good idea. Okay, so that's what makes you beautiful. I appreciate that. Good stuff. I am really liking StreamYard, although there's no way for me to put my own background music on this, which is kind of annoying. It is kind of annoying that there's no way to like plug in a audio source to the stream, but when we're talking with. Oh, you said One Direction. Gotcha, gotcha. The only song that I know by them, and that's one more song than I know. So there you go. Yoink! Sorry, clicking on too many buttons. It's only I don't know any songs by them, so you're one ahead of me. Awesome. Well, yeah, I've got another 11 minutes here to answer all of your NDI questions. I know there aren't a whole bunch, and there's not a load of people in here today, so that's no problem. Happy that those of you who are here, I blame TikTok. Happy that most of those of you that have come stop by, I really appreciate that. It's a good chance to catch up with folks in the industry and talk through just kind of challenges that you might be experiencing at your installation. I too have an installation that I regularly run. I haven't actually run that show for a few weeks now, and I don't think I'm scheduled for the rest of the month now that I think of it. So, yeah, we are basically the place that I'm running. It's a local congregation, and they have a couple of BirdDog cameras and a mini that runs on a JVC camera. And the biggest challenge that I'm finding with that sort of installation is actually just training volunteers how to use it and what you're going for every service. So because you have so many people of varying walks of life who are volunteering for it, you definitely get a different bag of production preferences every week, right? So if anybody has any tips on how to unify that so that we're all going towards the same goal, that would be great because I'm out of ideas. But actually, that's not true. So one of the things is we got to kind of get on the same page about what it is that we want. And then we have to explain that vision to the volunteers. So that's actually starting to happen now. Bunch of things we were waiting on to get into place, and one of the frustrations I have is just waiting and waiting and waiting. But now that those things are in place and some people are hired and some people have moved on, we are going to figure out what that looks like in terms of what are we working towards, how does this product, what does this production look like in the end, and what are we going for every week. So yeah, hopefully more on that soon as that progresses, but we will see. There's a conversation that actually is going to happen today, later this afternoon, about that very thing. So good times. Hey, our solution is to have more cameras. With 6 cameras, any 2 could be bad shots, and we don't have to use them. So you set them all as presets and you don't move them? Is that what you mean? That's not a bad idea. See, I have like 1 or 2 P200s in this situation, so you can move them around to get different shots. Like the video at the beginning of the show said, the nice thing about a PTZ is now it looks like you've got 8 to 10 cameras when really you've only got 2 or 3. And it's true. It's nice to have that versatility, but it also means that the people that are running the show have to know how to use it. And if you're really only giving them the exposure, if you're only giving them, so I got up really early this morning, I'll explain that in a second. If you're really only giving them exposure to the installation, once or twice a week, then it's really hard to kind of get them onto the same page as everybody operating the same. So it's really just a matter of lack of training, lack of time, and a complicated system that is any PTZ camera can become complicated. The concept of when you zoom out or zoom in and you have manual settings, the exposure gets all jacked up. So, even just that, explaining that to everybody has been a bit of a problem. We have 2 PTZs, 1 tripod, 1 handheld wireless cam, and 2 static for drum and keys. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. You know what? Yeah, there might be some validity there, even in my situation where we could standardize, like get some static shots instead. And and not do so much moving around, because that's really when it looks like when you're moving camera heads around, that's really the problem. It's nice to have something like cam control that can auto track people on stage. I've used that in several instances, but again, I have to bring a computer that can do that. They don't have that as a resource. Okay, so the story why I was up so early. So last night, 4th of July, so the family was up late outside, fireworks in the neighborhood and whatever. We had little outdoor uh, outdoor s'more making evening. That was fun. And then we packed it all up, and the kids went to bed. It was like 9 o'clock or 9:30 when they went off to bed, and of course they sat up, watched the fireworks out their window. So I forget what time I went to bed, like 11:30 maybe. And I set an alarm. My wife, she's a teacher, so she's off in the summers, but then she is doing something at the school this week where she needed to be there at 7:30 in the morning. So she needed to leave at 7, so she set a 6 o'clock alarm. So I needed to also get up and help her get out the door and get her all loaded up or whatever. So I set an alarm for around 6 o'clock. Well, anyways, there was a lightning storm last night here in Michigan, and I woke up at quarter after 5. And then I was left with the dilemma: do I just wake up early and drink a lot of coffee, which is why I have coffee on the show today? I wake up early and then just deal with the tiredness, or do I go back to bed and then be brutally tired in 45 minutes to try and help her get out the door? So, needless to say, I laid there for about 10 minutes. Then I got up and made coffee, and I worked through some of the tickets that were out from the weekend and a few other things. But man, it is catching up with me. It's noon, and I've been up for, 6 hours at this point, and I was up late last night. So more coffee. We're going to need lots more coffee. Today, the day won't end until about 5:30 or 6 o'clock. So it's going to be a doozy. Going to be a doozy. Alrighty. Well, that's me. That's everything that's going on here. Hopefully you are doing well your side of the world, wherever you're tuning in. And if you're watching the show after the fact, thanks for hanging out. Like I said, there's a few trips coming up. I'm not going to any trade shows anytime soon, but we are planning to be in Melbourne. I am planning on being in Melbourne in August. Let's take a look at the calendar real quick and see what might happen there. So August, the show of August 30th and potentially September 1st, I might actually do from Melbourne in a Melbourne time zone, or stay up late and do the same time zone, but over there. So I'm not too sure what we might do. All I really need is a web browser and a camera, which we have a few cameras, so I should be okay there. But I could take a laptop and run the show from Melbourne, and so I might try to do that. However, in a couple of weeks, I will be away and not accessible via email or internet or anything. And so that's the show where I'll probably turn this over to a couple of my guys here, see how they do. So that'll be fun. Of course, feel free to join us on Thursday from 11 to 12. Be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Feel free to throw the question in the chat right now if you have one. But if you are working on a project or whatever, we will be back live again on Thursday. I will be doing this from my house on Thursday because I need to be at home. But we will plan to still spend another hour on Thursday answering questions and all that sort of good stuff. So feel free to reach out to us there. I really just want to be accessible. I just want to be sure that people know that they can reach us kind of at any, they don't necessarily have to submit a ticket. They can reach out. Now, if things get quite complicated, we're going to ask you to open a ticket, because we'll probably need to set up a remote session or something like that. But that's not something that my agents are shy of doing. And so if you do have a situation where we need to see what's going on, or maybe something's malfunctioning or something like that, we can definitely take a look at that. Hey, I'm looking forward to NDI 5 and Silicon 2 for the converters and all the other features that are supposed to be on the quad. I, too, am also looking forward to all of that stuff. quad has been kind of long in the making. I do know that with the NDI 5 update, quad is kind of the first flagship unit that they're working on, because it's the one that, well, first of all, it's the most expensive one, but second of all, because it's definitely needing to have everything finished. So they are working on it a lot, trying to get all that up to date. And then, of course, Silicone Tune's coming right after NDI 5. So hopefully they'll be pretty close together. But Silicone Tune is kind of a major update. So we will see what the timeline kind of looks like for that product when NDI 5 gets launched. So I don't even know where in the project they are with Silicone 2, to be honest with you. I know that NDI 5 is well underway for the converter lines, but Silicone 2 is, I need to be more specific when asking. I suspect it will start after NDI 5 is done. So, and then there's coming late January. You can just say January of next year at this point, right? I don't think it'll be that long, but who knows? I don't know. I'm not the one programming, and I do not know how complicated it is, but I suspect it's very complicated. So, all right, folks. Well, I am glad that you have chosen to join us. Thank you so much for all of you who are hanging out. And I want to try out some of these different name tags just to see what they look like. I hate that, don't like that. All right, so I'm sticking with this one. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Feel free to reach out to us at, of course, the legendary help@birddog.tv if you have additional questions in the meantime between shows. But feel free to bring your questions here to Tuesday, Thursdays from 11 to 12. I sit here for an hour twice a week for 1 hour a show to answer your questions and to be available. So feel free to join us at that time. In the meantime, though, take care of yourselves. Have a great, it's kind of a start of the week, right? With the long weekend, it is the start, but we're already kind of near the middle. So anyways, have a great beginning of the week, and we will see you closer to the end when we will join together again on Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time here in the U.S. Be well, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.